flexibility here to get around the map when we're going back to the early picks of this draft and we're talking about the Rise and the Pantheon trying to play those side lanes. Sion here will be a very strong piece. And G2, the appropriate response, they will take their dragon.
Cross map is solid, but very slow. Get the nerves out of the way. They've got to get comfortable on stage. Ooh, the ulti.
Yeah, Inspire's ready to come in, but a beautiful ulti coming out from Caps right into the miasma to fall. Wanted to go for the flash pulverize, then get the headbutt backwards, but it doesn't work out. Now Busio sees Broken Blade coming in for the flank, but he roots him up defensively. FlyQuest bringing in the backup. Mantra Q hits Broken Blade and Lebrov. Broken Blade here on the very front line. Decimate's not going to find him. Caps and Lebrov putting a little bit of damage into Quad. They're going to catch him out on the very side of the fight. Miasma to lock him up, and he flashes away. Now Scumon's ready to come in here with a Nature's Grasp. G2, beautiful start to the fight as Bwipo tries to get away, but it's first blood over to Han Sama. Quad very low as he tries to escape, and G2 get a one for nothing.
G2
Any chance of it, not gonna happen. I said as soon as we saw it in the draft, G2 are big performers for their teams. Kill percentage, they're responsible for a lot of the action that happens here. Tier 1 games played though, large difference. Inspired being around a lot longer than Scumon is now. Looks like Caps has found plenty of damage into Bwipo as the Sion has to try to escape this Cassiopeia. Decimating smash right in turret range. Bwipo with the solo bolo on Caps. There's a snake in his boot. Right on the edge of the tower range is Masu now. There's no way out of that one. Beautiful angle from Lebrov. The Varus might have range, but when the their successful plays around the Dragon, after they find that pick on Masu as well, they're feeling really good as Broken Blade's in some danger. Inspire's ready to join here with a Grand Starfall. The Infernal Chain's going to pull him back a little bit. Broken Blade doing a great job healing up. Decimating Smash finds another stun. Quad's ready, and Inspired gets the last hit. FlyQuest are going to tie up the kills 2-2, and they're moving on, looking to take the first turret of the game as well. They'll have no trouble doing it. They got 3 grubs. There's no plates. FlyQuest are going to take that one, and now the next neutral objective or the next kill will secure either one of those feats as well.
Around a long time up there at Bwipo. They are going to send multiple people here. Can Lebrov find?
All right, Bwipo. Let's see if he can try to get out of this one, but with no ulti, it's going to be tough. Bwipo trying to keep the escape going here, but just turns around, goes for the decimating smash onto Caps. He knows there's no way to escape this one. Lebrov just providing enough CC there for Caps.
Simply because all of the damage that was done in the earlier matchup meant that the bot tower was already very weak.
Ready to join up with the rest of the team. The Rift Herald is going to be summoned up mid by FlyQuest, but G2 have already made their way onto the Dragon. Bwipo's going in. Looks like FlyQuest wants to take some sort of a fight here, but the Drake is already going to be claimed by Scumon. Broken Blade taking some damage here in the pit, but he's doing a beautiful job healing back up. Lebrov now into the back line of FlyQuest. Masu's going to be punted forward. More damage over the FlyQuest AD carry, but he's getting away for now. Caps has to run. He tries to escape. Nobody's dead on either side here just yet, but a massive force shot coming out from Han Sama. G2 and FlyQuest both hurt, both leaving, but G2 a little bit more damage would have done it, but FlyQuest don't have it.
What is going on right now? Everyone is just
Those stacks out of the 360 make it 6 in the middle of the sentence, but Han Sama has completed Infinity Edge on the Jhin. Absolutely massive on that one. As Bwipo finds Caps here, jumps right back in for the ulti. There's the Inspired ult, and he knows this time he's ready. He turns his back. He prevents being turned to stone, and they find the pick onto the G2 mid.
An excellent
He'll fire up a Deadly Flourish, I'm sure, to just try to see if he can get the 1 in 100 chance to maybe snipe it out. There should be no world. It got down to 20.
Caps. He used the Hex Gates to get there. Lebrov is pretty far in base.
Okay, Bwipo here on the very front line. Scumon going to take a little bit of damage there from the Mantra Q of Busio. Quad looking for a bit more. Caps takes a chunk.
Lebrov.
FlyQuest with control over the river right now. Lebrov off to the side. He has regenerated his HP, but now Scumon is down to 1/3. Inspired makes the engage on the Caps, and the Cassiopeia is already down. G2 have lost their cannon, and they're about to lose the ship. FlyQuest go in with a massive realm warp, and they're ready to chase down the rest. Lebrov is caught, and it's beef for dinner. FlyQuest are eating good.
I feel like Lebrov was so late. They take down the Cassiopeia, and they will put a stop to the Dragon stacking.
I think Masu's ultimate or the Pantheon ultimate, just to see how G2 reacts, and Quad now out of position.
Yeah, Quad is in some serious danger. LeBron ready to set it up and catch the Rise immediately into the petrifying gaze. Quad using his arm guard for a whole lot of nothing. It's a kill. And Inspired making their way up, but keep your eyes on Broken Blade. He's coming around from the side, but Inspired's ready to intercept him. Busio trying to get away. He's caught at the very edge of the Nature's Grasp. Broken Blade is low, but it does not matter. He's Aatrox. He's going to heal right, back, up. Cap's low, but not in that much danger. Seraph's giving him the shield, keeping him alive. Masu still firing. Whippo and Inspired trying to help. It's a 5v3. G2 make their way onto the Baron, and FlyQuest wants to step up to try to stop it. Masu's the only damage really remaining. Inspired tries to go in, but the Miasma's already ready to try to take care of him. Inspired throwing up the shield. Whippo and Masu stuck in the pit looking to deal with the Baron. Inspired going right back in, but he's already going to be knocked into the Guardian Angel. It's stolen away by Masu! 2v5 now. FlyQuest trying to fight back. Broken Blade wants to get away. Inspired back to life for the Guardian Angel. FlyQuest with the miracle resist at the Baron.
He has the Q. They pop it there. Really big props to
Wide Red. They've got the 6,000 gold lead. In the aftermath of the Baron play, because G2 had no presence on the map anymore, FlyQuest stopped their second potential
they can hit on G2.
And he's got the Axiom Arc as well for more ultimates to just keep throwing it out, looking for more, but LeBron is looking.
Masu getting caught. This is massive engage coming out from G2, but Caps takes a lot of damage before Masu dies. Whippo's made his way onto the G2 mid laner. LeBron and Caps are both low, but Caps still standing for now. Finally going to be brought down. Busio taking the kill credits as LeBron wants to use the Crouch as an escape mechanism, but it will not work. FlyQuest make it a 2-for-1. They've lost Masu, but they still have Quad for the damage, and Inspired and Whippo are a hell of a front line. The tier 2 turret here on the top side will fall as FlyQuest continue their push. Trying to keep them away, but they just don't have the damage. FlyQuest forces their way into the top lane. They'll take out the tier 3, but they'll leave the inhibitor standing. They're trying to cover for one another as they make their continue to bleed after that. Remember the side effect of the Death's Dance. Whippo trying to look for an angle here. Charges in after LeBron. The Alistar is going to be the target. Whippo's here in the front line, but now it's Inspired into the back line. Hansama with a flash away. Inspired looking to put the pressure on. Throws up the shield. Staying alive for now. Still has Guardian Angel. Doesn't have to spend it. Caps makes his way into the fight with the use of the teleport. G2 fighting back. Skewmon looking for the back line of FlyQuest. Whippo's here in the front, but he's tanking a lot of damage. Skewmon putting the pressure on, but the firepower from FlyQuest is massive. Skewmon barely staying alive. The curtain call is open, but the show does not go on. FlyQuest continuing to retreat. Broken Blade wants the Q2, but he won't hit the sweet spot. FlyQuest don't lose any
for Baron.
Baron, yeah, like Quad hasn't had a chance to reset. He doesn't have his TP. He knows that they can do this super fast thanks to the Casio.
Okay, Broken Blade has made his TP in. Whippo's already charging forward here with the ulti. The Baron down to about half HP. FlyQuest coming around. Remember, Inspired still has the Guardian Angel. Whippo here in the front. Nice punt away coming out from LeBron. G2 still going in, looking to take the Baron. It's secured by Skewmon. G2's going to try to fight their way out now as Skewmon is locked up in the Rune Prison, and FlyQuest bursts him down. LeBron has the unbreakable will, but FlyQuest will break him anyway.
FlyQuest don't have to hesitate.
Nope, they won't. As soon as you say it, Betty, Caps is already under the pressure from Inspired. Another Grand Starfall makes its entry. Another death for the Cassiopeia. FlyQuest will claim the mid lane inhibitor as Hans opens up the curtain call. He'll try to clear the wave a little bit with it, but Inspired doesn't care. FlyQuest in a 5v2. Hans and Broken Blade, nowhere to go. FlyQuest now onto the Nexus itself as Hans is forced back into the fountain.
Execute. So thinking about the executes on Cassante, locks it in. The Garen execute is effective if you get ulted.
So for those,
he's trying to steal away that Gromp.
Very early.
Get it.
Nicely done from Inspired, but now in the bottom lane, Busio's about to die! First blood over to G2! Nicely done, as Masu wants to try to get something back, but the only thing he's gonna get is a trip to the grave! Yes, you are a Garen, yes, you're up in levels, but you're in a 1v2. Now Quad in some danger, as Caps gets a solo kill. Out of the Dragon Pit by Inspired, so FlyQuest, despite hemorrhaging these early kills, will at least take the first objective. 6 on the Corki. The Rocket Poke can be very, very devastating. Han's gonna try to steal one of those grubs away there with a Frost Bomb, but it doesn't hit with the timing. Now that last grub, the target here for FlyQuest. Whippo's coming up around the side. FlyQuest looking to go in as Quad finds the engage. Follow up there with a Cyclone, and Hans is already down. Nice damage coming in from the Wukong. strong, but now Caps is between worlds. LeBron is low. Caps has to go back over the wall, and Broken Blade has found his way into the middle of the fight, but Busio is already out. FlyQuest get a kill, is one off of cooldown, and Broken Blade is making sure he doesn't give Whippo any more ticks on the spin. G2 starting up the second Drake of the game, now immediately turning for the engage onto Inspire. He drops the clone, he tries to get back away, and Skillmon's gonna be killed instead. Masu rotates into the fight, and Quad and Busio are looking at Lebrov. Han Sama flying away as Busio and Quad go on a magical journey, and Lebrov gets away to safety underneath the tier 1 turret. Han Sama continuing his retreat. G2, they thought they had the trigger pull, but it was a trap trigger, and Inspired ends up baiting him in.
The counter punch
Blade enters into the scrap there with a Pathmaker, but it's G2 who want to find the kill here onto the Garen. Immediately, Skewmon makes the engage. Whippo is low, flashing away, trying to finding some sort of an outplay, but immediately Broken Blade goes all out. Skewmon, though, trying to get himself away as Busio wants to get one back, but the kill credit over to Caps is right where G2 wants the money.
Strong play there from G2 up on the top side to get it and get out. They, as you say, it does cost them one flash. Now Busio in the middle.
Nice play coming out from Lebrov, and immediately Broken Blade looking to slam Busio back into the ball, but Busio with a two-man stun, ready to set it up as Caps goes between worlds. Busio gets away underneath the turret. The Tempered Fate is perfect. Inspired, needing one more hit on Lebrov. He'll get the kill. Busio stays alive. Inspired about to die to Han Sama. There's dead bodies on both sides as Quad keeps chasing.
Giving you a little bit more value around the poke. I personally still prefer the Trinity Force. I just think it spikes harder in the mid game, and we'll see if it comes to fruition now as the root comes through.
Yeah, Lebrov getting bound up. Chain CC, he can't press a button.
Mistakes where they're just out of position, and FlyQuest doing a really good job of...
It could be your opportunity to take the lead.
Busio hovering here too. Watch out for the Bard ultimate.
Inspired, gonna find Skewmon there as he clones back over the wall, but now Quad could be in danger. Immediately drops the combo onto G2, but instead it's the full engage. Tempered Fate looking to stuff that engage now as Han Sama's under pressure, but Inspired has to try to get away. The Senna ulti over the top, as now the turret is destroyed into the bottom lane at the same time. G2, they get the shutdown back on the Quad's Annie. It's one kill so far, one kill for G2, nothing for FlyQuest.
G2 get their play, they get out. Whippo, of course, after the teleport, up to answer. Build does have Wukong as well as the Garen on his team, so going to try and shred for the
confident
squad.
Finishing the objective. At the same time, G2 did grab that turret down there in the bottom lane, ties it up at 2-2 in that count. Busio with a nice two-man binding there. Make sure he can get himself away as Lebrov and Skewmon prowling around the fight harder is the question that'll answer whether or not FlyQuest can take this soul. G2 moving up with a full 5-man roster to try to stop it as Whippo immediately tries to engage on the Caps and Hans, but Whippo's going to be isolated. Immediately the Senna ulti trying to reinforce FlyQuest top laner, but he's going to be taken out before anything else happens. FlyQuest in some trouble. Broken Blade here with the front line, goes all out and he manages to stay alive. He's going to kill Quad. Broken Blade popping off. G2 slamming the fight. The target selection was better.
From following up, then that means that the Cassante's just going to die. But that is not what happened.
Here for G2 as well. FlyQuest is on the approach, but the Otacon is already low. Lebrov goes in for the engage on Busio, but he gets away on a magical journey. Broken Blade here to front line now, as Whippo's already spinning on top of him. The Garen damage is big, but Broken Blade still getting himself away. The Otacon is claimed by G2. Broken Blade still the target, likely to be the sacrificial lamb. Continues running, trying to waste as much time as possible here on the FlyQuest side. Broken Blade still clearing the distance. Inspired can catch up, finds the last hit there for the shutdown. Whippo and Quad are way too far forward. Quad's already going to be killed as Busio finds a big Tempered Fate, but Whippo's going to die now too. Skewmon heals with the Triumph, but he does not die. FlyQuest solo laners go in alone. Masu and Inspired now ready to try to follow up, but Han Sama's already able to make the distance. Lebrov with a crash down over the wall, but Inspired ready to follow. It's two dead on either side.
Yeah, FlyQuest trying to clean up scavengers, but they got too many. Caps here, does get slowed, but should be okay.
Yeah. Inspired without the clone to jump over the wall.
Value. The big team fight win before Dragon, stopping the soul stacking and getting the Otacon. Whippo is at it again though.
Yeah, Whippo wants to go in after Hans. Tempered Fate finds the Corki, but nobody else. FlyQuest going in. Inspired ready here with a Cyclone. Han Sama's already down. Masu trying to get away from Lebrov. Looks for a little bit more damage. If they can kill the Rel too, that's going to be huge. Whippo goes in for the Stride Breaker. A little bit more damage is there, and Masu's already got the kill. Now Broken Blade about to die here too. It's 3-0 for FlyQuest.
They make the quicker play. They just started out with Whippo traded. G2 will still have this power of
absolutely beautiful tempered fate from Busio's Bard to save Masu from what would have been a phenomenal engage on the side of G2. The MasterCard priceless moment of the game, the Dragon Soul for FlyQuest now, but could there be a counterpunch? Quad's in danger. The engage from G2 this time onto the FlyQuest mid. He's gonna die immediately. Whippo and Inspired looking to turn things around, maybe onto Skewmon. A little bit more damage is needed, and Whippo's already got the kill there with Demacia and Justice. Now Broken Blade still here on the front. Lebrov takes another hit over the head from Wukong. Masu has joined the fight. Broken Blade's gotta make some distance, but another tempered fate locks up G2. Hansama hit with a binding, but they can't follow it up with enough damage. Masu's got a lot of range on Senna now, and Broken Blade is low. Masu getting himself away as Inspired drops the clone to drop the aggro. Now Whippo still spinning around, but it's only minions under fire. FlyQuest dancing with the line here between greatness and disaster. G2 low on health, backing up. FlyQuest still with the ban. Caps with the Aurora Burst. Catches Masu unaware, and that will...
Soul Stealer here.
Yep.
And since they got the feats, they also have the upgraded boots.
But we're already into a fight. Inspired finds the engage into Caps and Lebrov. Caps gets himself away. Inspired takes a massive chunk, but Lebrov is the one whose body hits the floor. FlyQuest with another 5v4 situation now, going for the push in mid lane. This tier 2 turret should fall.
Get caught out in the mid to late game, and it's no different in this matchup. FlyQuest continues to punish them. Inspired is active on the map, and Quad?
Yeah, Quad's in danger. Stun onto both of them, though, as Quad tries to get away, but Broken Blade is going all out. He's in some danger himself. Busio trying to lock him up. Broken Blade is all out, but FlyQuest bring more men. Caps, but Caps just chunks him for 1/3 HP. Now, Whippo is Garen, level 16. The passive is at maximum value. Inspired goes in for the knockup onto Caps. Forces him to use the ulti defensively to jump away. The Elder Dragon is in 30 seconds. If either side gets a big win here, they can go for that, and you know how threatening to 13. Yeah, it's a 2,500 gold lead for FlyQuest, but that's not a lot. The Cloud Soul obviously being a much bigger difference maker. Silence onto Broken Blade from Whippo, but now G2 ready to step in. Caps goes between worlds, and Masu's already almost dead. Down to 200 HP. Quad's already eliminated, but now Caps is also dead. Masu continuing to fire. Surviving by 100 was enough, and Lebrov is about to die next. FlyQuest turn it around. G2, they try to pick Masu. They fall ever so short, but it is just enough for FlyQuest.
The front line for FlyQuest does so much there. The double spinning to winning is able to cut through them, and Masu actually survived the entire thing, kiting back, and with the sustain, and with the peel, FlyQuest
Inspired and Whippo. You said it earlier, Flowers. It was a tale of two
Entire
halves.
game, but so many times in League of Legends, when you're the guy who's got the weight. Masu, so much power on this Senna. 100 lanes.
Baron buff on the minions with the Elder Dragon on themselves, so threatening.
And they immediately decide to go in for the engage. G2 under pressure, Dawning Shadow, gonna guarantee the first kill. Skewmon's already down, and Inspired is legendary. Broken Blade goes all out as Whippo's gonna be in some danger. The shutdown credit goes over to Lebrov. Inspired is far forward. He's likely to burn down here, but he's already got the Guardian Angel. Broken Blade continuing to kite out, but it's not enough. FlyQuest lose their top laner, but they'll take Broken Blade and Skewmon in trade. Inspired, low on HP, stealing away some camps to try to heal back up, while the rest of FlyQuest continues pushing Nexus turrets. Masu has so much range, G2 can't get anywhere near it. The Nexus already under fire. Quad with the engage, the Elder with the execute, and FlyQuest on the game-winning push for match point.
Silas might be the direction, but Akali is good into the Orianna as well.
Ooh, Caps Akali here when they need it. Like I was talking about, like Inspired is covering this route, so they've been trying to trap this.
Oh, but Skewmon's caught out there by the tangle barbs from Busio. Inspired waiting over the wall. One more hit from the club.
The maiden first.
Okay. Whippo's maiden at 500 HP. Whippo trying to keep this wave from crashing into the turret. Drops the cage, but Whippo's down to 300 HP. Arden Blaze does hit him. Skewmon taking damage there from the turret. Whippo kills him! Skewmon gives a free one over, and Whippo buries him there with a shovel. Now up in the top side. It's one traded back, but they still get the dive. Feat of Warfare claimed by FlyQuest, as Busio does drop to Broken Blade at least.
Skewmon didn't expect the shovel damage right there.
So impatient. Oh wait, the goals! The goals!
Come and claim what is rightfully theirs. They have pre-existing vision. Waves there. They might have seen one of those little dogs, the minion wave in mid lane. That gives you some artificial vision. Then you have the full wards on jungle. And they actually have a couple of options to themselves. Whippo here trading again, and Skumon actually visits, but Inspired is here covering.
Yeah, Broken Blade goes for the Rupture, does not hit it. Whippo getting away, but he's already... Gets a chunk, but that's a big team fight ultimate that FlyQuest doesn't have.
FlyQuest with a Trundle ultimate could try and go straight through front line.
Okay, the Dragon's already down to 2,000. Inspired gets the shield. Lebrov tries to go in. The Drake is already slain by Skumon as Lebrov tries to get away, but there's the Pillar of Filth. The Hex Gates activate, but that's not going to matter. Lebrov tries to escape, but Masu puts the last shot in his back as that's a 4th kill of the game.
He's going to go steal it to try and bait out that hook into the wall, and then he saves his Pillar for the exit. So FlyQuest, even though they lose that Dragon, wait a second.
Quad's in danger, Broken Blade. He has his feast ready. The Rupture silences him up, beats him down, and eats him up. Nice shutdown for Broken Blade. 3-1-0 here in the Cho'Gath.
So, Broken Blade is continuing to get bigger, but Caps being isolated in this Yorick matchup is not really where you want this Akali to be. Ooh, Lucio
in trouble. Pop Blossom as he's about to die. Pillar to make a little bit of extra distance, but Skumon's already got the first kill. Now Masu's the next target. Whippo and Inspired trying to protect their AD carry as G2 comes to life. A 5-man play around the bottom lane tier 1 turret. They might look to go for the dive. Caps coming around from the side. Masu knows he has to try to walk this one out the long way. Lebrov and Caps isolated. Lebrov trapped inside the Yorick cage. Lebrov dies. Teleport coming in for FlyQuest, and now it'll be a 4v4 with the odds up in the jungle of G2. Immediately the turret dive would follow if Broken Blade stayed around. Skumon passing through, but his blue buff has already been stolen by FlyQuest.
I mean, Inspired is just running the game. He can literally... Broken Blade is pretty much all G2 have right now.
Okay, the feasts have been good.
Ooh, no
hey,
flash.
Broken Blade with a knock-up. Now G2's coming in. They found Whippo. Yeah. This could be the fight they need right there. Caps gets the kill, and Whippo, wrong place, wrong time. That's the opportunity for G2.
Look at the mini-map, though. I think FlyQuest are making the right choice.
Easily go either way. Caps is still top side. He's got his teleport if he needs it. He wants to go after the tier 1 turret to get the gold a little bit closer. He will find his target. Inspired steps forward, but a quick burst of damage coming out from Han Sama. Now Lebrov's got to be careful. He finds a dredge line, but he immediately has to flash back out. Lebrov is already down. Quad grabbing the kill on that one. Caps makes his way in with a TP. Can he find the flank? Broken Blade flashing away, barely staying alive. Masu jumping in, needs a little bit more damage, and Masu's already got the kill. G2 are gonna get wiped off Summoner's Rift. FlyQuest find the moment instantly.
FlyQuest will steamroll G2 as they march towards the Nexus.
It's only Caps left standing. He jumps in, but it will not matter. The last golden statue is buried. The latest chapter of the rivalry is written as an epitaph for Europe, and FlyQuest eliminates G2.
Around the map as it is going to be the Ornn. We talked about it early on. All reliable here for Keen. Just going to play for the rest of his team. Not going to be the most fun matchup.
First on the grubs, but AL have secured one. TP coming in. Tarzan looking for this. Can't land as Canyon gets a smite. TP from Keen. Call to the forward. Dura with a double knock up. And onto the back line. Kyle is already knocked up and taken out. First blood to Gen G. The dive in from Tarzan, but now he's in the middle of the enemy team. Tarzan falls second. Chovy goes between worlds. And AL is sent to the afterlife. Hope able to kill Canyon off, but Hope should go down. With a flame spitter will be able to get one of his own. Keen can't get in range and doesn't have the mana to kill off Hope or Shanks. Ruler's going to be able to walk away. Keen comes in, the curtain's open, but Shanks is just outside the window, unable to be connected there. Wandering takes the fine couple of shots. Kale coming across as well. Shanks has enough mana for another disintegrate. The electrocute procs, and Keen will fall in the end. A 3-for-3 exchange.
When all is said and done, it's a relatively even trade. Even the grubs are 1-to-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say no one actually has cleared out that final grub. But that was a really, really messy fight, and Tarzan might be in trouble.
Going to try and walk away from this one. Cannon comes in with a Wind Becomes Lightning, but doesn't follow it up with an Audacious Charge, and now they turn it back onto Duro, because Hope is here, and he rings Eternal. Tarzan heals up through the Triumph, and Canyon's down as well.
Being able to push in that mid wave.
Yeah, not going to be any contest from Gen G.
Should be able to escape.
Yeah, nice response. Pulling the TP from Keen, able to get Tarzan's flash out of there.
Duro with the knockback. Unbreakable Will so powerful at this moment of the game. The equalizer not really going to hit onto too much. TP coming in from Chobi as well as Canyon is trading with Flandre. The curtain's open and Hope goes in with a killer instinct. Ruler flashes away, but now Keen's here to save his AD carry. He can't do that! Kyle up towards the top side with the Grand Cypher coming in. He's going to fall first. Flandre getting chased down by Canyon as well, but he'll get the kill with a Flame Splitter. Now Tarzan's on the face of Chobi and will continue to chase him down. Duro, bird to a crisp. It's well done states for AL as they win out.
And that does allow, again, Flandre to get some key one-on-one time with this top lane tier 1 turret, which he will take down for anyone's legend. And additionally, they're dropping this Herald in mid, so they're going to polish up that mid tier 1 as well. Really nice map play from AL in response to this Drake taken.
They're still going.
Yeah, they're looking for the tier 2 as well with the TP coming in from Flandre. Maybe they thought they could fight the Drake, thinking Gen G were a little bit slower.
This down as long as he can thin out the wave enough, and there we go. So some really nice map pressure coming out of AL. This composition.
Gen G looking to set up around Otacon. We do have Shanks still pushing inside. Obviously has the TP available. We'll see if AL is going to fall from the bait. Gen G, I think, looking for the 5v5.
Yeah, Duro going in, TP coming out immediately from AL as they want to try and trade it back. Hope the first target here. The knockup coming out from Keen as well, but the equalizer now to the back line, and they haven't killed off Hope or Shanks. Keen forced down to about 2/3 HP as Hope dives forward, and Keen will die first. AL once again turn around the fight.
The ult!
And Starfall, immediate stun onto Chobi, who jumps backward between worlds. Kyle going in with the Magnet Storm, surviving for oh so long. The chase continues as Hope has found a perfect flank onto Ruler. Ruler down, Duro to follow. Chobi flashes to safety, but the rest of Gen G do not have that luxury. Canyon has to dash away to the minion.
Worries me somewhat. Flandre does have the TP available. Gen G, they're down about 4.5k gold. The 2-item spikes have been hit, but AL ready to contest this.
Flandre on his way has the equalizer, also has the Seekers if he wants to get a little bit aggressive. Keen on that front line. Tarzan jumping onto Ruler. There's the equalizer follow-up. Duro with a good knock-up, but Hope cannot be stifled. Ruler down. Between worlds goes Chobi, but they just don't have the damage. Canyon's on top of Hope, but he supercharges his way to safety. And Chobi once again is running for the hills. AL wipe away Gen G.
They take down Gen G. They get the Drake.
Keen gets out as well.
Hope is absolutely stellar in these fights. They're going to be able to clean up Chobi on the backside of this.
So Keen, the damage from AL never really is going to fall off. The lack of front line maybe becomes a problem down the line, but right now they're down. 7.5k gold and Tarzan is looking.
Equalizer coming out. Tarzan looking for the flank onto Ruler. Kyle there for the follow-up. The Magnet Storm comes out. They just have so many tools in their toolbox. AL can miss everything and still kill off Gen G. Chobi and Canyon trying to get back to the safety of their base, but Tarzan's having none of it. He'll pull Chobi back. The chase continues. The he's ulting into the base. Kyle dashing forward as well as AL have used Tibbers to tank up that mid lane inhibitor tower, and Chobi falls where he should be safe. AL now on the inhibitors.
Gen G have not been able to protect Ruler in these fights, especially against this composition. Once it got rolling, all eyes are on Ruler. One member of AL is diving, and he is out.
This is domination. It's a shellacking. Gen G 20 series undefeated, and AL come out in game 1 and have shown them what they're about. Gen G can't defend, and the LPL shines strong. 1-0 in this best of 5.
Is really difficult to deal with. We see the Nico hover, could be the Braum coming through as well.
I mean, Braum into Nautilus, one of the most classic support
Canyon's going to use that to get himself some chickens here. Just farming up a storm as if it was there to go!
The paranoia coming out from Canyon. Destiny, the fear procs just in time to stop the escape from Shanks.
And that's exactly what I was looking for from Canyon's first to be able to clean up this Drake. It doesn't look like AL are going to be able to do anything about it. Blate's game. However, Gen G were easily able to get the vision in first rotation onto this Drake, although AL are looking to contest.
Keeper's Verdict comes out, Keen dodges it. Ruler doesn't do the same. Flandre now looking for a flank of his own as Canyon is going to be healed up, but he gets the double counter-strike stun into the Glacial Fissure, and I think Duro is just done for. Flandre will pick up AL's first kill of the game.
Duro, the sacrifice for the Drake.
Someone had to set up a counter-strike. is always there, and Banana Brush controls there for Kyle. Teleport comes in.
Kyle's going to get hooked, but puts up the Unbreakable immediately. Glacial Fissure going down, only hits onto Duro. Keeper's Verdict being channeled by Tarzan. He doesn't finish it. There's the Paranoia. Trophy looking for the flank position, but he's stunned off first. Canyon falling low, the jump back in with the counter-strike from Flandre. Chovy and Keen, though, on the backline with the Emperor's Divide. Chovy's going to fall Flandre. The Dawning Shadow, he jumps away from it. Keen trying to snip through Shanks, but Shanks splash. That's true.
You see the entirety of the pit and the back of the pit.
It's important.
You see Shanks running from base, didn't have it off the Unshielded spellbook. Keeper's Verdict, Tarzan stops the channel on it. There's the Destiny pop to give vision. Keen's going to jump into the pit. The hook lands. Unbreakable going down as well. Depth Charge used onto Hope. Keen trading down towards the bottom side as we see so much damage happening in the pit. Keen's going to get the kill. The Dawning Shadow with the Emperor's Divide in from Chovy, and now it's all on Shanks and Hope to try and survive, but Genji are having none of it. They try and chase them out. The Drake almost killing Chovy. Hope dashes back in, straight into a dredge line, and he gets 2 for it. Shanks looking for a little bit more. Everyone's so low. Has that gold card locked in. Ruler is able to get a bit of range advantage here as Shanks now needs to run away. Has no cards left to pick. Chovy dashes in, and it's the ace for Genji.
Takes away a lot of the safety for AL.
Yeah, as you see, obviously the TF ult coming down from Vision. I did want to point out, as Genji are starting up this Otacon, is their attention to side waves, right? They've had their side wave pushed out
There's the ult.
pretty consistently.
Verdict, double TP coming out. Last Embrace going to hit onto the Poppy. Duro knocked up, but I believe he buffered a hook out of that or something. Keen looking for the flank position. AL take control of the Otacon. Ruler low. Shanks has a gold card locked in, but Keen uses the Hallowed Miss to dodge away from it. Counter-strike coming in as well as Tarzan is knocked up and snipped down by Keen. Canyon falling low. He doesn't get the smite off in time. Absolutely anyone's Legends will claim the Otacon. No, it's Chovy actually that takes it in the end. As AL now on the retreat. The hook just short. As AL managed to used by anyone's Legends just to get a little bit of extra health underneath this tower. The tower, the target for Genji, and they will secure it. Put down, they know that Canyon is there as well. Flandre's going to catch the bot wave, uses the counter-strike. There's the Destiny as well for a little bit more vision. Keeper's Verdict comes down. No one is found guilty, and the hook connects immediately. Tarzan has to flash away, and Genji haven't lost any health yet. They continue to push forward onto Kyle. Canyon going in with the Paranoia as well. Flandre looking for the counter-strike, but all of Genji scatter, and he finds no one. He'll go to an early grave as Genji turn their eyes towards the soul.
And again, you see just how difficult it is, even when AL are trying to set up. If Genji are parked in a spot, it's so hard for them to come in. Even
it's already TP'd up towards that top side, has the Emperor's Divide, the only ultimate available for Genji.
Keen has his.
7,000 on the Baron. Canyon trying to get in here, doesn't have Smite. Canyon doesn't have Smite and can't secure it, but Genji will look for the fight afterwards. Hope might just have to jump out of the back of the pit as the Baron has been taken by anyone's Legend, and Hope just about escapes with his life, then has the flash, but Keen's on the chase. Hope with a good arcane shift over towards the
Hextech Soul!
The Hextech Soul for the slow is enough. Keen gets the kill.
Tarzan's
taking
is the only one with the Baron buff left. But again, you're going to see immediately they're going to start pushing on the top side. Keen was able to take out that tier 2.
Give up a bunch of kills, but give up the Hextech Soul. It's just so hard to imagine that they're going to be able to get Ali
for the flank. Tarzan rooted with the last embrace. Chovy's here as well. Keen's on his way towards the back of the fight. Keeper's Verdict coming out will knock away Keen, and perhaps anyone's Legend will think this is a fight they can take. They can't.
Canyon.
Right now with the Paranoia coming out. Shanks getting chased down. Kyle down to half HP. Tarzan the same. The Hextech Soul doing so much work as Keen comes in and snips them to pieces. Chovy flashing forward. Flandre with the counter-strike once again. Just can't land the stun. Genji wipe away anyone's Legend.
And a clean ace for Genji. Heralds the end of the second game. Objectives going their way. The pace pulled back. AL not able to draw them into the chaos the way they did in that game number 1.
Ruler flashing the JDG emote as he sieges in onto the inhibitor and the
Disengage, the Akali can already pop off, but into the fact that you're playing into Vi, you're playing into Talia, which outside, or obviously in the laning phase, is the 1 versus 1 setup here. We'll see if Canyon actually is going to commit. Definitely wants his scuttle first.
Yeah, he'll want that first, but Keen is doing quite well.
Always a little bit risky to dive a Scion though, especially when he has a cookie. Even if you pull off the dive effectively, the zombie form comes out. It does look like Canyon's on his way across here. There's a ward that's going to spot him.
No.
Flandre Down to 150 HP, pops the cookie early. Canyon hit with a decimating smash. No one tanking the tower now, but there's only one minion left. Oh, good flash from Flandre, but Canyon follows it perfectly. The zombie form will chase him. Canyon has to flash to escape.
That is 2 flashes for a flash or alternator. The cookie in his inventory could have locked for some damage as Tarzan.
Still has the flash here. Canyon going in. There's the Weaver's Wall as well. Good stun onto Chovy. Hope comes in for a bit of damage. The seismic shove not connecting there. Shanks now looking for the flank. A good piercing arrow from Hope will take Duro down alongside Chovy, and in the end, Gen G don't find the fight.
I see some question markings. What's Crab doing there?
He went on a magical journey, man. Good stun with the Cosmic Binding. Canyon now the target. Hits 6, though. Has the cease and desist. Bolt Breaker stopped by the pillar. Canyon will cease and desist forward, but Shanks is still on the chase. Another Cosmic Binding connects, and Canyon falls. He was too greedy for the Crab.
AL, they are looking again.
Canyon doesn't have flash right now. Duro and Chovy fighting off towards the top side. Tarzan on the Drake should be able to secure this with his smite. And in the end, Gen G started up the Drake, but anyone's legends up, and Duro is making his way across there right now. Both the junglers on the top side of the map. In fact, all 5 players from both teams are pathing up towards this top side. I wonder if Gen G want to take this battle.
I think Gen G are going to be looking to go for the trigger pull, right? They are the ones that want to start the fight, blow a target up and go from there. Whereas AL may be looking to stow a Bard. That ultimate is available for Kael and not for Duro.
Canyon goes in, the Vault Breaker doesn't hit Weaver's Wall from Chovy to try and separate cease and desist. But now Canyon's on the wrong side of the wall from the rest of his team, and Hope just deletes him. Keen in the middle of the public's execution is only going to hit on Kael, but he flashes forward and he will kill off Hope. Flandre now with the decimating smash. Chovy flashing up towards the top side. Perfect execution from Shanks for the follow-up. The 5-point strike, not enough, but Shanks will still find it. Dodges away from Duro as well. Keen's going to dally in around the blue buff, surviving for now, but should be chased down by Kael and Flandre.
And Gen G, they need to be synced up, but it's anything but. Canyon goes in. There's no quickness available.
They should have first rotation on it as it spawns.
There's no flash on Hope, so Canyon should have easier backline target access. We do see Shanks, I think, looking to get that base in, finish his first item, and make his way over as Chovy. Do they have the damage to take this down before the wall goes down?
I think the answer is most decidedly not. Unstoppable Onslaught coming out from Flandre as he looks for the backline. The Drake the target firstly here for Gen G. Tarzan stepping forward, knocked back, the smite comes out. That is Canyon. Season 6 coming out as well as they look for the backline. Perfect execution. Canyon's gonna fall. Meanwhile, Shanks on the backline looking for a little bit more. He's on Chovy. Can chase forward, dodges the seismic shove, and Flandre takes the kill in the end. Shanks still going in, dodges the battle dance and the grand entrance as well. Keen trying to get in, but Shanks' fancy feet are just sublime. Decimating smash will hit Ruler, but no real follow-up.
Shanks styling on the
Gen G looking for the battle again. Perfect execution available for Shanks. Public execution available for Keen. He jumps in. It's Kael the target. There's the quickness as well, and Kael is down. Duro will secure the kill. Meanwhile, on the backline, once again, it's Shanks, but they still have the cease and desist. He has to flash away from the Mega Inferno Bomb, and then dashes his way away as well with a perfect execution. The Rift Herald secured for AL. Weaver's Wall coming in from Chovy. Seismic shove does not connect. Flandre on the front line. Unstoppable Onslaught won't be enough. Hope has to flash the wall. Keen's going to flash to follow him. Flandre tracing the rest of Gen G away. Keen's going to die. Hope goes down as well. In the end, AO do get the Rift Herald, but the fight is any...
TP.
TP sucks.
Coming in from Flandre. There, as we see AL now on this top side turret, actually able to take all of it. Yep.
That's gone.
Yeah, with the frozen domain as well, it's just so quick. Quickness coming out, though. Double TP immediately invested from Gen G as Duro looking to dance around this. Keen trying to fight it as well with the pillar going down. Keen continues to chase Chovy with the Weaver's Wall onto Shanks, but the Unstoppable Onslaught from Flandre will distract Gen G enough. Canyon has the Mega Blast Cone. Vault Breaker across would get him in range, but in the end, anyone's legend able to disengage. They're just mad at Chovy for some reason.
Otacon is not winning the battle. He's actually scrapping.
Chovy. Poor guy, man. Keen's going to be able to take the top lane.
Right there. And Gen G need to retake control of River because AL are set up nicely.
Keen has his teleport. He's going to TP down towards that bot lane Tribush. The Dragon already down at 5,000 HP. A flank position as well for Ruler, but he's caught out by Shanks and immediately assassinated! Shanks him as Duro now with the quickness can only run and hide. Keen the next target. Duro comes back in and it's a double. But Shanks, anyone's legends collapse immediately.
Dragon into potentially Otacon. They should just rotate immediately directly onto Ruler, and this was also the problem we had in game one, right?
It's a minefield though from Ruler. Will keep AL from really being able to enter the river again. Canyon down on the Drake, 4,000 on it. Tarzan turning onto Keen, but he has a GA. Unstoppable Onslaught goes between the uprights. Seismic Shove is going to connect. Canyon dashing back in. Keen being kept up towards the top side, but AL are scattered. Flandre down, goes into the zombie form. The quickness coming out as well. Duro chases forward, and Genji have delayed for long enough. The Weaver's wall in from Chovy, the dash away from Shanks. Unraveled Earth will get the stun onto him, and Keen continues to chase. Shanks has to flash away, but AL have already lost 3.
And the hero there is Keen, right? He distracted.
Keen goes in, Hope goes down. Shanks the only one standing from AL.
Just as I was saying, the hero of that fight was Keen.
For Gen G, because they can sustain a lot more, and with both that Talia as well as the Ziggs, as long as you
see
hold
this
up
explosive power coming out of Ruler's Ziggs as Flandre is in trouble again.
The Weaver's wall separating him from the rest of AL. Chovy will take the kill. The gold swing 4,000 now in favor of Gen G, well, 3.5. And they've shown us that if they can have these slightly more scattered fights without Shanks on a flank, it's really difficult for anyone's legend actually to get on that back line.
Without Shanks on the flank, with Keen...
gain try, or to clear rather a wave and mid. That mid lane turret still standing. Satchel used. The Shanks should be able to get back to his turret, or not.
Assist. Duro's going in with the quickness as well as they look for the chase onto Shanks, who's popped the stopwatch. Knocked back with the seismic shove as well as Shanks just doesn't get an opportunity to move. Gen G have woken up in this game, and AL just cannot answer them. Duro dashing forward, getting onto Hope, knocked back with the satchel charge as well as Keen continues to chase. Flandre in the middle of 5. What can you do in the face of so much hate? Gen G will lose 1. They'll clean up the fight, and they'll look towards the Nexus.
Duro in his first international, popping off on that Rakan, able to follow up on every engage. And Gen G, with this Red Bull Baron power play, it's not even going to time out, it looks like.
Nope.
No one's alive on AL. Gen G about to get to match point.
They just rip control of the game away from anyone's legend, and they are one. You can play around them. Neferi instead, a different AD jungler, only won 1 game so far out of 5 here at MSI.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Gen G will be picking that up very, very early on in this game. Start that Drake stacking super early, right off of that lane swap.
Tarzan still here.
Snuck behind them. Duro and Ruler, though, should be able to walk away. Good route onto Duro means that Tarzan can just wait out the flag and drag combo. Duro the first to fall. Tarzan looks for a little bit more, but can't quite catch out Ruler.
Nice. Tarzan's patience pays
Side
off.
it.
I jokingly called this circle gaming, but that's exactly what you want, right? Like the setup.
Chovy going in onto Hope, immediately dashing forward. The Pop Blossom stolen away. Hope has to flash. Kyle will fall for it, though.
And it feels like a repeat of the play.
To kind of choose whether they want to contest this at potentially a disadvantageous spot.
Look at that ward, the TP.
TP immediately. AL will back away.
Yep.
They know they can't do anything here. As the the taunt, sorry, is going to go on to Chovy. Kyle forced out the all-out on Hope. It's Hope that he's got. I thought it was the shape splitter, but Keen finds the all-out that he wants.
On this mid turret and take down this crab on the top side.
And with those sums not being available, Duro in particular is so susceptible to Tarzan as Gen G is looking to fight.
Tarzan's being really greedy here. Chovy has stolen away the Cataclysm, but a good make it rain from Hope will slow them down enough. Tarzan going back in towards Chovy. The flank position as well from Shanks is not the best. He's knocked back and taken out. Gen G claimed the feat of warfare. Cataclysm flashed away by Hope as well. As in the end, AO just a little bit too greedy, staying around. He's TPing behind them right now. Shanks on his way down, has that hero's entrance. The Dragon down to 5,000 HP.
Will be spotted.
TP coming across, as you say, Chovy spotted. Shanks looking for it. Tarzan goes in. There's a hero's entrance. Cataclysm mob, and that's the wombo combo that anyone's legends were looking for. Keen goes all out, dashes forward onto Hope, and will get the kill. He'll fall for it. Good on Topuz with a 3-man knockup, but only Canyon and Chovy stay standing.
Really, really nicely done. And that is the go button, right? As soon as Shanks is able to go in, they end up cleaning up that Drake, and that's huge.
And Neferi, as well as Cassante in those fights, I think you're going to be feeling good about as possible
As soon as Chovy goes in, they're going to go for the fight. The flash away, but there's the Cataclysm for the follow-up. The taunt comes out and Chovy is locked in the pit. He'll fall. Gen.G starts 4-0-1 on this Jarvan. Does have a 1.5k gold lead, but obviously Jarvan, as the game goes on, falls off a little bit. Chovy caught out again as Flandre is looking for the chase. He can just dash across the wall. There's the Cataclysm, though, in from Tarzan. Hero's entrance there for the follow-up, and Chovy has no flash to escape. Hope takes the kill. Chovy falls for the second time this game.
And Chovy has had a relatively muted series, but in this game, he's straight up just get...
As you see, clearing out vision.
Oh, there's the TP.
Right back in.
That's aggressive.
Keen, Pop Blossom onto Ruler. Tarzan there for the follow-up. Cataclysm coming in, the hero's entrance, stolen away by Chovy. Will keep Ruler alive. Keen goes in with the all-out, pulling Tarzan back into the team. Canyon looking for the flank onto Flandre. He'll go in with the hands, but Super Keen's already dead. Juro low as well. The hero's entrance countered by Shanks as he dashes forward. Chovy down, Ruler and Juro and Canyon, the only three left alive.
And Canyon was waiting, but to what end? AL, they weren't thinking about going back. Flandre not looking to retreat to the safety of his jungle. Instead, they were just playing forward.
And even when he did end up
able to keep Ruler alive for a decent amount, but it's the decision of Canyon. Flandre as well hasn't died this game. Been, I think, having great positioning in the fights as well. Thus far, has paid off for AL as Keen.
Should be able to get away from this one. Goes all out onto Shanks. Gonna knock back, he's taken out immediately by Flandre. Mum comes in, there's the all-out in fact, as the Cataclysm comes out onto Ruler. Hero's entrance with the follow-up, there's a Pop Blossom as well, and AL are not done with this fight yet. Canyon trying to escape Chovy so late on the TP, but Canyon's already down, and there's a Baron available for AL.
Bring us to the promised game number... Well, actually, he didn't promise, but game number 5!
Keen tries to go all out. Shanks, again, this combination
as much of this jungle as possible, and Gen.G have to retreat. Their jungle is not their own anymore. They do have 2 items on Chovy, 3 items on Ruler. Canyon is strong, you know, Black Cleaver, Spear of Sojourn is a lot, but they are just counterparts on AL.
He's strong, but this Nefiri pick has not been able to have the impact that Gen.G would have wanted. By contrast, Tarzan has absolutely controlled the pace of this game as we see the siege potential of this team coming out from both Hope and Flandre here. Shanks cleaning up that tier 2 in the mid. And they're just going to kind of go back and forth between these lanes.
Anyone's Legends are just walking. They're just walking menacingly at Gen.G, and they're having to retreat. Flandre looking for the inhibitor here down towards the bottom side. Will be able to
keep this pressure going.
Using the shape splitter as well to eat those cupcake. The Yordle Snapchat. Chovy goes in. Pop Blossom is going to land the hero's entrance there for the follow-up, but the time! Hope Untouched just melts through Gen.G. Ruler and Juro, the only 2 left alive here. AL, do they have the waves to push in?
I think they do. They're going to try. They have a Grubs, so I think they have it.
They have the Grubs, but the backdoor bonus, I think that cannon minion is too far away, so that tower actually gets a bit tankier. There's a wave coming in bot side, and it should be there in time. Still 30 seconds before any reinforcements arrive for Gen.G. Anyone's Legends strike back in game 4 and will take us to Silver Scrapes.
That even a mobile AD carry you can lock down with a Gragas, that's going to be way harder for Gen.G.
Yeah, and it's really going to depend for me and Flandre with kind of getting back into this game, and Push is able to get that ward out. Canyon.
Shanks with the early flash, but Canyon's here for the chase. Chovy had the Rune Prison, and down goes Shanks. Like BLG last year made 2 finals, weren't able to take the win in either of them. If AL can take down Gen.G here, it would just be such a great sign for the region. As Gen.G have taken 2 of the Grubs. Keen goes in onto Tarzan, lands the stun. Kyle trying to get in there as well. Chovy and Duro there. Tarzan, good double impale. The Stand United is going to keep him alive, but now the explosive cast coming out as well. As Gen.G are looking for more. Hope down. Shanks and Flandre trying to retreat, but the Hexag Ultimatum will lock them up. There's the Blade Caller to follow up, and Shanks is dead. Flandre tries to jump the wall, and just as I was saying, it would be so good for anyone's Legends. Gen.G have other ideas.
You curse them, Medic.
What?
But
that on arrival, right? There was the shield, there was the disengage from Gragas. They still kept him alive for a good amount of time. Is Hope!
Lands the hook onto Hope, and Hope almost gets out. Canyon able to take him down in the end, and now AO need to retreat. The Impel comes in, but there's a Realm War behind them as well. Tarzan and Shanks in the middle of 5. They'll get Canyon, but Shanks will fall next. Tarzan looking for Juro. Juro just walks away from them. Gen G are absolutely
down 4,000 gold just by minions, but AL, I think in this series also not letting them really play that style, and in this game thus far, Gen G has been bringing the fight to them as Flandre almost has his TP available but to find a pick and side lane, get a numbers advantage, and then play from there. But you can't just try and play a normal 5v5, particularly not with this Blitzcrank being on the prowl.
Kyle
has a
looking
flank
for
though,
flank.
onto Ruler, the cleanse away immediately. Juro still looking for more here as the TP comes in. Kyle has to flash away. Glacial Prison doesn't connect. Counter TP. Tarzan only with the Impale on one, and now Keen is there. Hexagon Momentum is going to take him onto the tower. The Sad United enough to shield up Tarzan, but now the shutdown comes over to Hope as the chase continues. Shanks joins the fight, and he's spitting out Venom. He finds the shutdown. Ruler the flash away! The Blade Caller, but the pull in from Juro's not enough! Shanks has found poison, and Gen G will suffer. Tarzan chasing further forward, double twin fangs! AL roar into life! They'll have to be cautious. Only the tanks can frontline. Kyle as well does have that flash back up. Has also taken Smite off the Unsealed Spellbook. Ruler's going to start up the Dragon. It's a 9,000, 7,000, 5,000 with the Blade Caller. AL needs to get in here. Sharpish. Explosive cast coming out. Kyle stepping forward with the Smite, but it's Canyon that secures it. Kyle's going to dash away. Chobi looking for that backline. The lands onto Tarzan. There's the Permafrost follow-up, and Ruler takes the kill. Gen G begin to turn and burn, but they get hit with a rocket. Shanks and Hope step forward onto Keen. Canyon on the backline. Hope turning it around onto Sejuani. A hook onto Shanks though, as he's rooted up and shut down. The Hexagon made him enough to kill him off. Flandre now caught out with the Permafrost. Kayao's gonna die to Keen, and Gen G have found the fight. They follow it up for a clean ace. Looking for a play onto Keen, who does have the flash. He knew something was going on. Tarzan's going for the chase here though. Underneath the tower, Tarzan's going to tank it up. There's the Miasma into the Petrifying Gaze, into the Impale. Hexagon made him from Keen into the flash. Oh, he missed the wall. He maybe would have escaped. But the hookshot wall dive just short.
No Shanks ult, no Tarzan ult, no Kyle ult. As they start the object, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. Ruler is so strong. 3 items already complete. Obviously, Chobi there as well. Rise at 2 items.
Gen G pushing on to this tier 2. I mean, Gen G can pretty much set up the map however they want. They have such strong split pushers.
It started, and AL, I think the Hail Mary is about to be attempted here as Kyle TP's in the mid lane.
Canyon stepping forward. Kyle looking for it. Ruler, though, so safe, so far away. So hard to collapse on. Keen continues to push through top. Does have that teleport. Recalling now. Andre looking for a flank. No vision here for Gen G. Now places a control ward in the tri-bush. Hope not really that strong, so his poke isn't really going to stick. TP comes in from Keen. As he looks for a flank of his own. Has the GA. The hook connects again! And Chobi makes AL take a pew. Church is in session here for Gen G. Keen on the backline. Flandre dead. Keen, you can't even pop his GA. The Angels are on the side of Gen G. They get the triple, they get the ace, and they're looking to make it 21 series in a row.
Beautifully done from Gen G. The picture-perfect execution of this composition. They are barreling down bot side for the end to move on at this MSI.
Nerves of steel for Gen G in the final game. As Keen, yet another insane performance in this final one. As Gen G